likens God to a divine physician, and that he has his finger on the pulse of humankind. And so from age to age, God has sent us these manifestations who come with this revelation that is able to solve the problems for that age.
So I love coming here at dawn. This is a peaceful, beautiful place. This is the shrine of the Bab, who was born 200 years ago. Now, this place is full of joy and light, but at the time he was born, the world was really filled with the darkness of oppression for many people.
Shiraz, Persia. The young Bab is an extraordinary boy. His astonished teacher sends him home, saying there is nothing he can teach this gifted pupil. While other children play, the Bab prefers to pray and meditate alone. As he grows up to become a young merchant, he is admired for his piety, his gentleness, and his sense of justice. The lives of people throughout Persia will, in time, come to be transformed by his presence amongst them.
In the mid-19th century, there was a worldwide sense of messianic expectation. And in Iran, there was a young man named Mullah Hussein who not only felt this expectation, but was convinced that the promised one that he was searching for was already in the world, and that it was his mission to search for him and find him.
A spring evening in 1844. Mullah Hussein, a young scholar and seeker after truth, is searching for the promised one. After many weeks of prayer and fasting, Mullah Hussein feels drawn, as if by a magnet, to the city of Shiraz, renowned for the sweet perfume of its roses and the melodies of its nightingales. At dusk, as he arrives wearily at the city gate, a radiant young man approaches Mullah Hussein and greets him as if he were a lifelong friend. Overwhelmed by this welcome, Mullah Hussein accepts an invitation to visit the stranger's home. During that momentous evening, a conversation takes place that will change Mullah Hussein's life and the entire course of human history. As their conversation continues into the early hours of morning, Mullah Hussein is astonished to discover that every answer he receives to his questions establishes beyond a shadow of a doubt his host's claim that he is the Bab, the promised one. Unknown to a sleeping world, the promised day of God has dawned.
I find it so interesting that immediately following the declaration of the Bab in Shiraz, Persia at the time, halfway across the world, Samuel Morse was sending his very first Morse code from Washington, D.C. to Baltimore.
May 1844. For the first time in human history, a message is sent instantly from one city to another. The message, "What hath God wrought?"
And in a way, it's as if humankind had been given two means of communication at the same time. The declaration of the Bab opened the way for humanity to be unified in a spiritual sense. But the advancement in telecommunications since that very first Morse code has led to unprecedented development in science and technology that have unified mankind.